We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
I have no idea how to start this video. So if it hasn't been made clear by the title of the video and me actually being in front of the camera, this isn't going to be your normal JSL review video. And maybe a good place to start is with a quick recap of 2019. So 2019 was a big year for the channel. We saw a lot of growth, was able to put together some awesome videos. And there was one video that I made that was particularly special because it's the first video that I made to surpass the elusive 1 million view mark. It was my review of the iPhone 11 and the 11 Pro. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link to it in the corner. And dude, no lie, I am blown away at how well the video performed. I totally wasn't expecting it. Now, a funny thing actually happened over the holidays. I was hanging out with some buddies I hadn't seen in a long time, and they were like, hey man, how's that YouTube thing going? And I said, yeah, it's going pretty good. I think one of my videos actually hit 1 million views. And they legit were like, dude, that's crazy. You must be making like a ton of money right now. Do you still have to work? So first, yes, I absolutely still need to work my 9 to 5. And you know, it made me realize that this whole making money off YouTube thing is still a big question mark for a lot of people. Now, I know I'm not the first person to make a how much YouTube paid me video. There's a ton of them out there, but I don't think I've seen a lot of tech YouTubers share. And in the spirit of transparency, thought I'd go over in detail how much revenue my iPhone 11 video was able to generate to help inform and dispel any myths that might be floating around and just be more upfront about this side of being a YouTube creator. Now, before we go into the analytics, I want to give a huge shout out to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. I think we're at a stage in life where people are finally starting to take their personal internet data security a lot more seriously. NordVPN has been an industry leader in providing consumers with services that honestly should just be the new standard when it comes to using the internet. First, NordVPN ensures that your browsing information isn't shared or tracked by anybody. All the data that you send and receive online travels through an encrypted tunnel. This way no one can get their hands on your private information, and even if they do, it'll be this jarbled encryption that they wouldn't be able to decipher. This is especially important if you regularly use non-secure Wi-Fi hotspots at like coffee shops, libraries, etc. Your data is a lot more vulnerable on those connections. And the second thing that's great about NordVPN is that it's compatible with almost all devices. Whether it be Windows, macOS, Linux, Android, or iOS, you can secure up to 6 devices with a single account. And man, I wish I knew about this while I was living in Asia, because services like Netflix, Spotify, even YouTube would block a lot of their US content due to region restrictions. NordVPN allows you to virtually change your IP to a US-based server, even if you're not in the country, giving you access to all the content you're used to even when you're abroad. They have over 5,500 servers in 60 plus countries for blazing fast connection speeds with 24/7 customer support. You can try out NordVPN totally risk-free with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And if you guys go to nordvpn.com/JSL and use code JSL at checkout, you'll get 70% off a 3-year plan plus a bonus month for free. And dude, NordVPN has won every single award out there for VPN services and is recognized by all the heavy-hitting tech publications. Definitely check them out. Link is in the description below. Now, before we jump into all this, I get that talking about money and YouTube can be pretty taboo for some folks. And the last thing that I want to do is come off like I'm flexing. It's really not about that. I honestly just want to be straight up with you guys. So if you guys can get behind that, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already. Your support is always appreciated. So one of the main reasons why talking money on YouTube is so complicated is because, man, it varies so much creator to creator. And what I mean by that is that the money that I'm able to generate with a video that hits 1 million views may be significantly different for another creator who also happens to have a video with 1 million views on it. And that's because your CPM, or your cost per mile, basically the amount of revenue that you're going to generate for each 1,000 views on your video, is influenced by a multitude of factors. I'm going to go over 3 of them that are relatively easy to explain. So the first factor is the topic/genre of your video. Basically asking the question, how ad-friendly is your content? Prime example here, compare a prank video to a personal finance tips and tricks video. Advertisers will bid/pay more to place their ads in videos in which they feel as though there's the greatest chance of return on investment. Hence why you're going to see a much higher CPM on the personal finance channel, as majority of the people viewing those videos are already looking for some sort of help or some sort of service. Now, the second factor is the country in which the viewers are in. There's a massive difference in generated revenue based on geographic location. For example, your CPM could be wildly different if you're a YouTuber whose primary audience is, say, from the US, compared to a YouTuber whose primary audience is from the Philippines. And the last factor that's going to influence how much money you can make on a video is how long it is. If a video is more than 10 minutes, you can actually run more ads on it, which means you're going to generate more revenue. So with these details in mind, I'm going to go into detail of exactly how well my iPhone 11 video performed, and I'm also going to go over some other components that impact truly how much money I or other creators make, to give you guys the most realistic sense of how much I'm truly left with at the end of the day when it comes to actual dollars. So I uploaded this video around the end of September, and it hit 1 million views right around the beginning of January 2020. So I'm going to start by isolating that time period on my YouTube analytics, so it captures that time frame in which the video had just around 1 million views. And look, to stop beating around the bush about it, I'm going to start by sharing how much YouTube paid me for the video, then I'll go into the details of how it came to that. You can see that YouTube paid me $5,880.46 by the time the video hit 1 million views. And the average CPM was $11.79. Now that's pretty high, and I'm going to explain why that's likely the case based on the factors that we talked about earlier. Number one, the iPhone 11 video is very advertiser friendly. I would say majority of my content caters to a demographic of folks that are in some way, shape, or form pretty close to buying something, and with this buying mentality already in place, it makes my videos a lot more appealing to advertisers, hence why I have what I consider to be a higher than normal CPM. Second, remember how I said the CPM will differ wildly based on which country or region the viewer is viewing from? When you take a look at the analytics, you can see the vast majority of the views came from the United States, and the rest came from countries like India, UK, Canada, Philippines, etc. Now when you break out the CPM for each region, you'll see that the US is very high at $12.30, but when you look at the CPM for India, it's a huge difference. And when you compile all the views and where they came from together, it averages out to around $11.79, which makes sense because majority of the views did come from the US with that high CPM. But imagine if it were the other way around, where the video got majority of the views from, let's say, like India. The average CPM would be way lower, and the video would have generated a lot less revenue, despite having the same number of views. Case in point, check out the analytics on one of my older reviews on the iPhone XS Max and the Galaxy S10 Plus. It has right around 1 million views, and though it still has a lot of views coming from the US, it has a pretty significant portion of views coming from India and other lower CPM countries, and my average CPM for that video is only $4.88. Less than half of what I was making for the iPhone 11 video, which goes to show that all views are definitely not equal when it comes to generating revenue on YouTube. Now the last reason why this video was able to generate a little bit more revenue is because it's over 10 minutes, allowing the advertisers to add more of their ads into the video. Not sure if we could throw in an example, but I'll try. But yeah, all this led to the video making some pretty solid money, relatively speaking. Now by this time, some of you may have already started to do the math. If the cost per 1,000 views is $11.79, multiply that by 1,000 based on 1 million views, that should total $11,790, more than double what YouTube paid me. Well, two things to help explain why that happened. Number one, not all 1 million of these views were advertised. YouTube estimates that only 892,000 views had advertisements on them. So if you do the math again, $11.79 multiplied by 892, you get around $10,516. So what happened to the rest? Well, you have to remember that YouTube or Google is a partner here. They allow creators like me to share and post on this lovely platform, and really the advertisers are paying them, from which Google then pays me, the creator, around 50% of what they make on any given video. Take that into consideration and it starts to make a lot more sense on why YouTube only paid me about $5,800. Now you might be thinking, dude, that's a lot of money, your friends were right, you don't have to work a day job. So as much as I wish that were true, the videos that I make, though on a whole I would say do okay, I'm definitely not in a place where every single one of my videos hits or even gets near 1 million views. Remember, this is my first one. And just looking at what YouTube ends up paying me is a really incomplete story. So for the iPhone 11 video specifically, I had to buy an iPhone 11 and an 11 Pro Max to review and film them. Right away, that's an upfront cost of $1,986.80. So subtract that from what YouTube paid me to cover my costs, and that leaves me with $3,893. Still pretty good, but one thing that a lot of people aren't aware of, the money that YouTube pays you is pre-tax dollars. And if you make anything over $600 a year on YouTube, you will have to pay Uncle Sam. Now it's kind of an accounting best practice to save around 30% of your revenue to put aside for taxes at the end of the year. So after recouping my costs and putting aside money for tax, my earnings on this video is more realistically around $2,700, which is a little bit less than half of what YouTube actually paid me. Is it still a lot of money? Yeah, especially to me because I really wasn't expecting any of this. And look, I'm lucky that the video did so well and I'm so grateful that it did, but it could have easily gone a different direction where I didn't get a lot of views, and in many cases I wouldn't have even been able to recoup the cost of buying the iPhones. So I guess the big takeaway here is, even though it may seem like a YouTuber is doing very well, and dude, there's a lot of YouTubers that are, there's a lot more that goes into this operation that a lot of times we can't control, and that's why basically all videos should be assessed individually because there's just so many factors involved. But hey, I hope this helped in some degree. I got asked a ton about what it's like to be a creator in this space, and I'm all about transparency and being upfront about this because there's a lot more things to keep in mind than you would think. Okay, that's about it for this video. Don't forget to leave me a thumbs up if you guys found it useful, it really helps me out. If you guys have any questions about this making money on YouTube thing, leave them down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.